Yo, 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 it's Jeb in his house. Hey, yo, we're going to space, yo. Hey, yo, we're going to space. Rolling on 909s, making money big time. Hustle Uncle Sam on the taxpayer's dime. We're the spacemen in our space bridges. We gone from rags to buku riches. Throw your rockets in the air like you just don't care. Throw your rockets in the air like you just don't care. We a G unit, baby. And don't you forget it. We a G force, homie. That's a G limit. We on fire like a blade of home down. See you later. But before I'm out, let's launch the Cap Simulator. We a G unit, baby. We a G unit, baby.
Hello everybody, Thy Lord Root here, and welcome back to another episode of G-Limit. So today, we're looking at a number of things here. We definitely have distilled, or we want to put a new probe on the moon. I also want, because I'm sending Bob to Minmus, I'm going to accept this. Now this expires in 6 days. But I have a plan for this, and this is worth 107. So we're doing pretty good so far on this. I may want to eventually upgrade this building, but for now let's just get Bob out here. That is going to be the microlander, and Bob is going to go to Minmus and do his thing. This will basically allow us to do two things. First of all, I want to to get this vessel docking, maybe with the space station. And we'll just go to the moon here. We are... You know what, we'll just... Not to the moon, we want to go to Minmus. I think we will be good for that. We'll just go ahead and launch now. And we're just about ready. We just have to get this guy lined up. I'm gonna get us a transfer going and hope that maybe we could possibly get ourselves as close out as would be necessary. Okay, here we are. We're just going to make an ascending node adjustment here so that we're coming in at a moderately good deal. I'm just going to click on the... Oh, that's special KSP. I don't quite know what it was thinking. May not be enough for us to quite get into orbit with, but I'm relatively confident that you know, if we look at this thing, hopefully we're... I mean, our inclination is probably good. It's just probably that we, on the other hand, are not. Could help for us to burn radially just slightly. So we'll give that a shot real quick. I think this will maybe... We got burned the other direction. At any rate, I mean, we are fairly close. That is an acceptable periapsis that we have there. There we go. 7 days. So we have some time to take care of another contract. And let me just... The microlander is already taken care of. I'm just going to go back to the Space Center. Because we have another thing to worry about. We need to get this thing set up. This, I suppose this base, this landing base. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a completely new... Well, first of all, I'm going to probably put a probe on it. And it might be good, at least to my way of thinking, it might be good for us to stick that in one of these guys. Although, in reality, we have the special nose cone here, the special adapter that, if I could but find it, this guy right here. And we could put this guy on, and we'll put the docking port on as well. I am also going to unlock, as a result of this, the other guy as well. And we just really have to think about how we're going to land this guy on the moon. It is not coming back. Let me just go to the utility here. We need this guy, at any rate. And I will begin thinking about this, so I will see you once we are ready. Okay, we are now back, and I thought I would just show you what I came up with. There were a number of contracts that I want to knock out, and I believe we have everything that we need for this. We support 5 Kerbals, we have a docking port, and we can generate power. Additionally, when we get back to the moon, we should be able to transmit any kind of science we need to. One thing you'll note here is that we don't quite have as much Delta V as maybe we would have hoped for. And this is going to be expensive. This stage here is actually more expensive than the payload, which is kind of rare for me. But if we go back to the contracts, we'll find that we actually get a fair amount of science back from it, and also money as well. Oh, and one other thing too, I want to have this guy on here as well. So landing this shouldn't be too much of a problem, at least that's my hope. I'll just plop this guy down here. We have 6 batteries on it, so it's I'm going to put 2 of these on here, just so that we do not run into airflow issues. This is going to be a fairly expensive task. I have no means of recovering that booster, but I think we can do it, and that's going to be the main deal there. That will last for about 2 minutes, so I'm looking forward to getting this taken care of for sure. I just we need to shoot for about 80 kilometers, so I'm not going to do the most efficient orbital insertion, I don't think. And this thing is quite wobbly. It's going to be interesting. I hope that we do not lose everything in this. Not like we have Kerbals on there to begin with. But we'll begin turning over. And I will let you know how it goes. This is no good. I do not believe we will be getting up into orbit at the moment. Although we recovered, that means we're going for a very steep orbit here. Largely because this thing is too wobbly. So at least we'll have that going for us. I am not going to jettison this before I get the science, though. And I suspect that while we'll have a bit of a correction to make, we'll be okay. There we go. We have successfully launched that. Well, maybe not entirely successfully. We will require quite a bit of Delta V to get into orbit here. Almost more than our budget will allow, though we have plenty for landing. And that's going to be the trick, really. An unwieldy payload like this is going to be a lot to deal with. I think we will have enough to get us over there, at least. Probably not enough for us to get back. Not going so hot yet. Okay, we're in orbit. What we could possibly do to help with this is, it's possible from all of these guys here to transfer fuel in. That'll give us significantly less Delta V as a result, but we don't need that much to land, actually, and nobody's going to die. we just have to find the place where the moon will be. Okay, we are out on our way out now. The prognosis does not look good. I don't know if this caps or if this guy here is going to be able to land at the moment. I think really as long as we get part of it going, because we have everything else we need. We just need to land on the moon and collect our cash. I do want to go back to our contracts real quick. I'm just going to add in the node here so that we can prepare for that. It may be possible that we will need more fuel. That's something I can easily provide, of course. But I want to get this so that we can get the money and science for it. And somewhere around here, I think it would be good for us to maybe collect the I guess it would be good for us to get that docking going eventually. Right now we need this guy to land. And so we're going to do that. We'll just warp to that point. We already have Bob here. There's just a way to... Oh, there's really no way to do that except for us to go forward. I'm not going to bother with an inclination correction or anything like that. Where does this guy need to be decoupled anyway? That guy needs to be decoupled at 10,000 and 19,000 feet. I think I can do that. And really the question is going to be if, when we get here, if we can get down low enough. That will be a very important question for us. Because I think, now we lost our ability, it looks like, for some reason or another, to hit on the maneuver node, so I'm going to be back here in a bit as I try to fix that. Okay, it's still messing up, so we have to do our test burn here. Oh, no, there we go. We are perfectly fine. "29 meters per second. We can do that. I don't really care about inclination at this point. All I really care about is my ability to land. Oh, you know what? We're better off burning here. We'll go for a cool 15 or so kilometers, 13 kilometers off the surface. It's getting very tight for us. We may need to eventually send out a fuel probe for this guy. Given the amount of work that I've put into it, I think that would be a good idea. And my plan is... Oh, we really can't execute that plan, can we? I wanted a probe that could have knocked us back onto the proper course, but I don't think we're going to get that. I think, otherwise it would have been okay if we had not lost control of our rocket. There's really not much that can be done about that. I just don't think we will have the amount of Delta V that we will want. So a refueling mission is going to happen. There we go. We still have 71 meters per second of Delta V here. Let's do ourselves a favor. We'll take everything we can get in. And same with the oxidizer, actually. And we will stick this guy out. And it'll take a while. We may have to do another orbit in order to get to where we want to. But, you know, the question is going to be, we need about 300 meters per second of Delta V here. I do not believe we're going to have enough, so I am just going to... I'm going to go around one more time. Oh, we can decouple now, actually. Now this irritates me. We're in orbit. No, we're not. Okay. That is a little bit bothersome. Because I should be in orbit. I guess we weren't in orbit enough. Well, at least that other guy is going to be space debris. But we now have the tricky situation to where this guy is no longer going to be easy to get to, so I am going to do what I can to get a refueling mission going. And we will actually need to dock in order to get this going, I believe. Maybe about there is good. I think we just need to get this guy's inclination corrected and probably make some orbital corrections. I mean, there we go. I think we need to go south here. Let's just give that a go. I just need to find our... Let's see, we'll do a small test burn. Yeah, we need to go south. It should be nothing to bring down our orbital inclination. I'm going to do that. Okay, maybe get this guy into orbit here. And I'm going to have this guy meet up with it. And unfortunately, given our present inclination, that may be easier said than done, but I think we can take care of this. Meanwhile, the microlander is going to have a few things to do here. It says we need about 180 meters per second to get into that orbit. I don't know how much I believe that, to be honest. Still, not going to be nearly enough to land with. Not after we're done, anyhow. And so I will see you whenever we get our refueling mission going. Okay, we are back. I've called this CCP2, and let me just zoom out just a little bit so you can see what I've done here. This is slightly less expensive than using the stage we used on Microlander. We did have to purchase an engine, but we'd need that anyway. So this is going to be our replacement. We will have tons of Delta V here to play around with, which I am hoping will mean that we should be able to easily get to the space station. And you can see our thrust to weight ratio is just about right. So I am going to fly this. I will let you know if anything goes wrong. And something did in fact go wrong. It's gonna be kind of tricky getting this one off. We just don't have sufficient control over these engines. I mean, you know, fortunately, this is okay. It's gonna take a lot of Delta V for us to get out precisely to where we want to be, I think. But, yeah, losing control like this is, not so fantastic. I'm just going to come down here and try to make the most of what's left. We are now back, and, as far as I'm concerned, we're doing pretty well. But, you can see here that I have taken the monopropellant. And I'm just going to point towards this guy here, just to make it a little bit easier on us. I've taken the monopropellant, and I am using it now for us to, be able to get lined up. In fact, I want to be pointing towards the docking port. Not much in the way of fuel is left, and that may mean that we will need to do some rather fantastic things here in order to be completely aligned. But I figure we can do our little experiment. And get pretty close main thing that is not going to be helpful for this at all is our reaction control. But that's just the way it is. And perhaps we should be happy that in terms of our ability to dock, we're doing okay. I am hoping that with this, that our, I suppose that our fuel will be enough to get down. I'm not so sure that it is, unfortunately, and that means we may need to send up another probe. Something a little bit more... Oh, okay. Let's not go into it that much. Something a little bit easier for us to get up, because the one thing with this, of course, is that there's so little fuel, and you need such a big rocket to get it up, that, there we go, that it can be a bit of a problem. Well, let's at least do this little trick here. I don't know that, we'll have enough fuel for it to make complete sense. But we're going to fill this up as much as possible. If we could maybe get this up to, oh, I don't know, It says 570. I think that's going to be enough to land with. And, the docking contract, why didn't that go? Let's just take a look at that. Does it have to be over high carbon orbit, maybe? I don't know. Let's just undock this for the moment. Are we willing to take the risk with that? I think that's possible for us to do. I mean, given our orbital velocity, we could do it. But, I'd rather not. We'll have to send another probe out, I think. One that is less expensive than this. We've gone through a lot of trouble to get a very minuscule amount of science. We didn't even get the docking contract, which is a little bit irritating to me, because I believe we should have. Because after all, we did dock. But one thing I'm going to do is at least get this decoupler contract. Because I think with that decoupler contract, we will do alright. Kerbal Alarm System says we have 1 day before we get to Minmus, and I think I will let this be the last thing we do. Just because I don't entirely understand why we didn't get that one contract. But we are high enough now to where it makes sense for us to circularize. And I'm certainly going to do that because I think that makes a fantastic amount of sense. And the plan is that we're going to discard this whenever we get the opportunity. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to push it into the planet. So let's start out by maybe getting this thing pointed prograde, so this guy gets ejected backwards. And we should meet the criteria. We are in orbit. We're not quite at the right altitude, so I do not quite want to expend too much here. And that means we are going to have to get around to apoapsis here, which we will unfortunately have to boost up. I'm going to let it do its thing so we can keep on keeping on here. Good news, we're at altitude. And so what that means is that if I point my nose prograde, this guy's orbit should begin to decay. And I should be able to catch up with this guy, and that will degrade us just a little bit. I think it may be possible for us to land with 650. I am not entirely confident of that. I think that's something we should sleep on. But what we should do is we should get this thing going down as quickly as possible. So we'll do that. These two guys will separate. Their orbits have decayed sufficiently for that. And yeah, they will come on down. And being so close to the ground, they will blow up. So, yeah, I'm going to turn on the physical time acceleration to expedite this process, and there we go. We have now hit the ground, and we have a bit of debris here. Not quite sure what it is. It seems to be freaking out, though, and you know what, I'm not really sure that I care at this point, but I'll mull over whether or not we'll be able to land that lander with exactly what we have. And in the interim, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at this. This is an orbital station that we could do. We'll think about that, because obviously, it has to be in orbit of Kerbin. Okay. So yeah, we'll do that, and we will see you later.